So the thing about windmills is that there's a lot, if you don't have the timing right, they actually make it harder for yourself to do them. That should be the case with any skill, right? But specifically with this one. So what I'm looking for is that I have the right turnaround before I drop down, so that I'm using all the torque from the machine, starting from the machine position, to actually help me. Otherwise it doesn't help you at all. And that's one of those things you got to figure out with timing, so that you're not having to really muscle yourself through the windmill, and you can actually use momentum from the machine itself. That one was a little bit rushed, but not too bad. Gotta be careful, gotta keep my legs straight. Because of that knee issue I have, if I bend it and it's like flailing around, it can actually hurt it more. So that's why it's important, this is really important to make sure my technique is on point right now. Because I don't want fluid to build up in my knee, making it harder for me to do stuff until the surgery. The thing is to take your time until the perfect moment. And that's what you kind of have to look for. And the more perfect moments you have in practice, then it becomes more present when you're doing freeform stuff. That was better. Just made the night more interesting. All right, time for some swipe work. So two things that have really helped me, well I guess three things that have helped me with my swipe. One is making sure that non-using leg is really lifted up. Two, making sure that you're bridging the hips, pushing up in the hips, otherwise you'll collapse down. And then three, you want to make sure that you can, you want to almost get a slight flare-like feeling at the beginning where you're pulling the hips around to the front. I don't know if you saw in the last one I just did there, but that helped me in that one a lot, because the circular motion helps you push back to the other side. Is you want to try to keep your circle control, so that every time you do a swipe, now when you start going insanely fast, usually you'll start going to other sides, but usually if you're going at a moderate speed, like what I'm doing right now, you'll be facing an opposite direction every single time you do a single swipe. This is a little different than like doing swipes for like style in the middle of a footwork, where you kind of do it more in one place. This is more the power move style. And there's lots of other ways to do them, lots of other ways. But this is what I consider kind of like the starting swipe of good power. Now, the only thing that's bad about swipes is because there's so much one leg dominant that that leg tends to get tired pretty quick, the quad. So I'm gonna do this one more time, one more set of them, then move on, just because I already have a lot of stuff I'm doing on my other leg because I'm compensating so much to one side due to my other knee. Yeah, I'm getting too tired for those, or I have to take longer rests, so yeah, I'm gonna take about a 2-minute rest here and then come back and do one more set. See if that helps. All right, I took a nice little rest here. Let's see how these look. So the funny thing about skill development is that a lot of times we'll just quit because we think we're doing bad, when really we just need a rest. And so that rest set is so important, especially if your cardio is horrible, like mine. Take rest sets when you're doing bad at a skill. Don't just keep destroying yourself, being upset with yourself that you can't perform well with the skill because you're just overdoing it too much. You have to give your brain a second, your nervous system a second, you know? Let's move on. All right, 1990 time. So one thing that I'm trying to make sure that I do is keep my arm close to my head. I actually injured my shoulders pretty bad in high school because I kept my arm out to the side and it really twisted my arms weird. So I'm really just telling myself I'm not going to do this move unless my arm is straight above my head. It's just better for my shoulder. Spirals your forearm. Ooh. I feel that soreness all the way around your forearm you get. The hands being dragged so hard on the floor. It's the only problem with training this on a spring floor. It actually stops your momentum. So I really want to work on this set of freezes, but I feel like the night is almost over and I'd rather just stretch. I thought about this a few times too. I'd rather just stretch out and cool down and go home, call it a day. It's been a pretty good day. So on the way home, usually later at night, especially after I've trained, I usually don't listen to anything on the drive home. It's about a 22-minute drive, and it really kind of helps me to kind of get into the mode of calming down and getting ready for bed, or getting ready to go to sleep, just because you don't want to go to sleep in an amped up state. You really want to let yourself calm down and get mellow. But I also sometimes listen to classical music, so this also has the same effect I feel on me. Just calms me down, not too crazy. So yeah, either silence or classical music on the way home. I think it helps a lot.